Service learning is another high-impact practice. When we give students opportunities to put their learning to work in the service of others, we find that they get better academic outcomes from that, better learning. So we'll talk here briefly about the purpose of service learning, talk about the benefits that come from it, and we'll talk about some key elements of good service learning projects. Service learning, let's go out and pick up some trash, right? Certainly, service learning does involve going out and serving the community and engaging the community. But it's more than that. It's not just going out and picking up trash on the highway. That service learning also has to support some learning objectives. There needs to be some connection between what we're doing to help the community, boom, and what we're learning in the classroom. So it's not just picking up trash, it's talking about what we learned while picking up trash and how that impacts what we've learned in the classroom if you have a trash picking up class. Environmental studies, we'll get to that. So service learning has to involve service and learning together. If you do that right, you'll see many benefits from it. Students in service learning show better critical thinking skills. They show better problem solving skills. Go out and do a practical project for your community. You're going to have to analyze the problems and come up with ways to solve them. Service learning is associated with higher grade point averages and better student retention on campus and a greater sense of connection to the community. I'd suggest those last two may go together. When students do go serve their community, they kind of invest some heart and soul and effort, some sweat into their town, and so they maybe have a greater sense of, yeah, this is my community, I belong here, I want to stick around, and that may help them, stick adversity on campus. So retention and connection to the community may well go together. Research has shown there are some key elements to successful service learning programs, service learning that really does help students learn better. First of all, you want it to be integrated learning, something that really helps students put what they've learned to use out in the field, in the service of other people. To that end, you want to think of high quality service. Picking up trash may be a bad example because you don't have to be a nursing major to go pick up trash. You do have to be a nursing major to participate effectively in, say, an immunization clinic or some other kind of community health project. So high quality service and integrated learning mean doing something that really puts your students' course skills and program skills to good use for the community, something that's worth their time and learning and that will support their learning. Collaboration is an important part of service learning. Students should work together with each other and with community partners. Good service learning also gives students some voice in what they're going to do. Gives students the chance to look around their community on campus or around town or even a broader field and say, well, students, what do you think are important problems around here? And what do you think we could do to solve those problems or at least address those problems? That critical thinking process, analyzing problems to solve, and allowing students to make their choices will boost their learning outcomes from what they're doing when they have more of that personal investment in it. Good service learning programs allow for civic responsibility and civic engagement. They're an opportunity to work with partners out in the community. That always makes service learning stronger. Good service learning also needs to include reflection. Okay, it's not just go out and pick up that trash. It's about taking time to say, okay, why do I want to go pick up this trash? As you're picking up the trash, what are you learning about patterns of pollution in town and the impacts on the community? After the work, after not just picking up the trash, but say organizing the teams and identifying the areas to do it, reflect on that process and talk about how well it worked, what problems there were, and what you could do better next time to organize such an activity. That reflection makes sure that students process the experience and learn from it. And finally, evaluation. You as the instructor do have a role to watch what students are doing, not just as they're picking up the trash or doing their other service project, but to evaluate how well they plan, how well they perform, and how well they reflect and learn from the entire experience. There's always a role for you as the instructor to provide that kind of evaluation and feedback. And finally, a little thing, research indicates that for a service learning project to be really meaningful, it needs to involve 20 or more hours of service per semester. Okay, so if you're just going out to pick up trash for a couple hours after school, that's not going to stick with students. They need an ongoing, a kind of a long-term project with lots of hours that will really make it stick and will really require them to do more instances of critical thinking, to solve more problems, to collaborate more, and have more to reflect on later. Put those things together, make sure that your service is connected with learning, and you'll have service learning projects that will be high-impact practices, promoting good student learning.